I'm El Donzo.
I'm Deez.
And Joe Biden is proud of his son. Did you hear about this, Deez?
Unfortunately, yes, when they weren't busy talking about the sub.
Yeah, when we took a break from the sub and we could actually watch news that involved, I don't know, like important things. This is Joe Biden. He said, I'm very proud of my son. This is Gateway Pundit. On Tuesday, he discussed his administration's work in managing the risk of artificial intelligence at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco. Reporters shouted questions about Joe Biden's criminal son, Hunter. Hunter Biden agreed to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges in a sweetheart deal given by his corrupt father's Justice Department after a 5-year investigation. Now, those charges that he pled guilty to, which is going to be a misdemeanor, was pretty much tax evasion charges. Right, Deez?
Yeah.
There was another one, a gun charge too, that we talked about, and this is, I guess, this is why he's very proud of his son. We'll get to that in a second. It was on a Form 4473. When you buy a firearm, you have to sign and certify that you are not, amongst other things, addicted to any substance. You don't have any substance addictions. You're not a crackhead. You're not an alcoholic. That you're perfectly fit to buy this firearm. He lied on it. And that pretty much got thrown out. He doesn't even have to plead on that. So there was 2 tax charges, which he's getting a slap on the wrist for, that if it was you or I, they'd run us through the ringer, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, we'd already be in jail.
So Hunter Biden will likely get probation for not paying his taxes. Only peasants go to prison for not paying taxes, according to the Gateway Pundit, and they are correct. So when they hired 87,000 new IRS agents, okay, they did not hire them to go after people like Hunter Biden or Joe Biden or any Democrat or Republican or anybody that's super rich. They hired those 87,000 new IRS agents to go after us.
Yeah.
You'll never see anybody going after them. And the fact that his daddy's a president, you can't tell me there's nothing nefarious going on here or nothing underhanded. Now, go back to the $5 million, which we were talking about the sub thing being a distraction. And I think that alien thing was a distraction from last week's show, because that alien thing popped up around the same time that we have whistleblowers saying that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden each took $5 million from Burisma, and then Donald Trump had the 37 counts in that indictment that he's getting charged with, that the DOJ is pretty much being weaponized to go after him. As far as the gun charge, which is a felony, like they said, Hunter Biden won't even be pleading to that crime. And Joe Biden's proud of his son. Deez, why don't you tell the listeners why Joe Biden is so proud of Hunter?
I wish I could answer that.
Don't we have a list of stuff here that Hunter's done to make his daddy proud?
I mean, there are several instances of, the scumbag falling not too far from the tree. One of the ones that have just recently came out. What's that? I
said the scumbag rolled down the trunk.
Yeah. A very exclusive sex club in Los Angeles. The founder of that, who since sold it to somebody else, and now he's barred because he, the first rule of sex club is don't talk about sex club. He revealed that Hunter was involved in this club, which is $10,000 to get in, which, as the IRS whistleblower has now said, Hunter wrote that off as a golf club. $10,000 for the sex club. Well, anyway, he was thrown out because he was groping women, and he also had write-offs, business expenses for flights for prostitutes, and this is all confirmed by this IRS investigator that has now famously been removed from the case. Of course, we know everything that was on the laptop. I mean, yeah, he's a dirtbag. The funniest thing about this to me is that the guy that blew the whistle on this whole thing has also been now kicked out because he talked about it, but he was subpoenaed to potentially testify if it got to that point. Obviously it didn't, so now he comes forward with this story.
Well, what's really funny about that is some IRS agents did investigate him and nothing happened. So it looks to me like they did this for a dog and pony show.
Oh, for sure. And they didn't charge him with anything as far as the bribery or the money laundering or anything like that. It seems like every day a new story comes out involving this whistleblower thing, where we had one of the conversations he was having with a executive in China about how, he's basically telling him that, my dad is sitting right here and he's not going to be happy if this doesn't get taken care of, this, that, and the other. All the while, this entire time, Joe has been saying that, I don't know anything about my son's business dealings, blah, blah, blah. But he's basically been outed, or at least lied about, because in this email exchange that was found on the laptop, which has definitely been confirmed to be Hunter's, he talks about how, dad's here and he's not going to be happy if, and it doesn't specify what needs to happen, but basically he's using his dad to strong arm this Chinese executive into doing something or other.
So I want everybody to think about this real quick. They said January 6th, okay, 2021 was an insurrection, did they not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They said that they were attempting to overthrow the government, did they not?
Mm-hmm.
The real insurrection has already happened, and it happened way before that. This laptop had so much stuff on it, okay? And the FBI had this laptop for nearly a year, okay, before the 2020 election. They had all this evidence on there. The DOJ, the establishment, the elites hid this thing from everybody.
Yeah.
There's your real insurrection right there, what happened with this laptop. All this evidence was already on there. This is the gravity of this right now. The FBI knew all this stuff. So you tell me who's overthrowing a government here.
Right.
They're the ones that shifted the election. They're the ones that interfered in the election. And there's some people that just can't wrap their gray matter around this. Hillary Clinton, another example of make it look like we're doing our job, was Hillary Clinton. When Comey investigated her, said, yeah, she pretty much made a mistake. She was, what did he say? Careless or whatever with it. No, she broke the law. She broke the law. Hunter Biden broke the law. Joe Biden broke the damn law. And nothing's going to happen to him. Now, I can't blame people in this country right now for being down in the dumps about the situation. I can't blame some people for having the attitude, what does it matter if I go out and vote? Because they see stuff like this. And
right.
To them, I just want to say this. It does matter very much if you go out and vote. Look, there is fraud. It's obvious. It's happened. We have evidence of it. The only way to counter that fraud is to go out there in massive numbers and vote. Tell your friends to go and vote. If you got somebody that doesn't like the direction where our government's going or where our country is going, but if they don't like Trump, talk to him. Say it doesn't matter. Disregard the tweets. Disregard the stuff he says. And think about how much better your life was before Joe Biden got in the office. Because you got two options. It's going to be Trump or Joe Biden. If you go third party for a Democrat. Okay, that just ups our chances. But the only way to unscrew this is to do it at the ballot box or mail-in ballots. That's another thing. I'm going to start mailing in my ballot. What are you going to do, Deez?
Well, I mean, it's literally right up the road, but
mail it in early. We have to play the same games that they're playing and overwhelm them when it comes time to vote. We got to get everybody together on this. We cannot. We got to do everything we can. We got to make every effort. And at the end of the day, if we still lose, we can say we tried.
Speaking of third party, what do you make of this Joe Manchin thing? Do you think it's a smokescreen, or do you think he's actually considering?
I don't know yet. I haven't heard a lot about it. If Joe Manchin runs, then Donald Trump will get reelected. Now, Joe Manchin and Donald Trump get along really, really good. Okay? They have for a long time. I hope that Joe Manchin runs.
Well, naturally.
I do. That's it. Excuse me. Bobby Kennedy Jr., of course, is making a run. Joe Manchin's got a far better shot than Bobby Kennedy Jr. And I think if Joe Manchin was to run against Joe Biden, I think Joe Manchin would probably, if he runs against him as a Democrat, I think he'd probably get it.
No, he's talking running independent.
Is that what it was, independent?
Yeah, because he knows that he's not going to get the nomination.
But he's going to yank votes away from
right.
Biden.
Yeah, they're talking that if he runs, he's going to run as an independent.
I think if he does run as an independent, then Donald Trump will definitely get reelected.
Just the simple fact that they think that he'll pull one state, which is it Virginia or West Virginia? Whichever state he's from. They're saying that that they believe that if he runs, I mean, obviously he's got no shot at winning, but they feel like he could, at the very least, pull enough votes in that state to turn it red.
I think
which
he would.
Which could make the difference.
Joe Manchin is not stupid. Okay, Joe Manchin knows that if he runs as an independent, Joe Biden's over.
Yeah.
Just saying. Hey, this